Hello everybody, this is MMA Inside the Cage. I'm Joe D. We're going to do a little recap of last night's UFC 119, which of course was pretty much a lackluster card that featured a main event of Mirko Cro Cop versus Frank Mir, and with that being your headliner, it's not a surprise that the card wasn't all that great. Of course, you can't have a great card every single outing. You know, there's only so many champions and there's only so many number one contenders. And first off, we had Matt Mitrione versus Joey Beltran in the preliminaries. You know, it was a slow fight. Beltran was not in great shape. Matt Mitrione, you know, these are the kind of fights he's going to have. He wasn't really able to explore his retard strength in this bout, but he did pull out a win. There were a few good bangs. They both got rocked a few times. It was entertaining for a prelim fight. Matt Mitrione won that by decision. Then we went to CB Dollaway versus Joe Dork, and I think a lot of you know how I feel about CB Dollaway and how I'm very opposed to how he leaves his lip hanging out like that, and sooner or later there's going to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist that's going to come by, you know, slap a triangle on it, possibly a go-go or omoplata. That would be fantastic to see. And you know, basically, I got to give props where props are due, though. CB Dollaway caught him in an arm-in guillotine, and as Joe Dork tried to escape, he cranked in an arm-out guillotine, rolled at least 4 times, and came up on top, was able to snug his leg over the shoulder, and he just torqued it. And it was a beautiful submission, actually. He got a $70,000 submission of the night bonus, and he deserved it. I cannot stand CB Dollaway, but my hat's off to you. It was a nice submission. And then we had Melvin Guillard versus Jeremy Stephens in the first main card fight. First 3 seconds into the fight, Melvin Guillard gets put on his ass by Stephens, and everything after that was kind of lackluster. Melvin Guillard wound up pulling out the decision, so he'll be moving forward in the 155 division. Rumor has it he may be going up against Gomi next. We'll see. Then we had Sean Shirk versus Evan Dunham, and Sean Shirk sliced up Evan Dunham pretty good in this one. He cuts on both sides of his eyes. He was in bad shape at the end of that fight, but you know what? Sean Shirk is not the Sean Shirk that we all used to know. He's not the old muscle shark that's 155 pounds that looks like he's 240. He's, I guess, grown a little older and possibly not on as many enhancement drugs as he used to be, but you know, I'm not going to throw that out. Sean Shirk won that by decision. And then we had Matt Serra versus Chris Lytle. And oh my God, Matt Serra, you are brain dead. It was the worst, I mean the worst game plan I think I've seen in, I can't even tell you how long. How do you go and stand up the entire fight with Chris Lytle? Your arms are like 9 inches long. I mean, you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. Yeah, okay. You knocked out George St. Pierre. You caught him. Blah. That was a fluke. You can't stand up with a Chris Lytle. And I'm not even saying Chris Lytle is like the be-all, end-all of stand-up, but you don't stand up with Chris Lytle. Not when you've got 9-inch arms. I mean, his face got lumped, and then he came out with, I don't know which was worse, his game plan or his reason for the game plan. Well, after the first fight, I wanted to come out and, you know, give Lytle his opportunity to shine. What are you talking about? You want to win this fight so that you can move on and possibly progress into a title shot, which you're never going to get. Wow, very disappointed in Matt Serra. Very disappointed. Horrible game plan. Then we went on to, of course, Little Nog versus The Master. And, well, Little Nog, you know, he came out. His boxing was definitely crisper than Bader. He caught him a few times, but every time Bader got in even a little bit of trouble, he went right in for the shoot. And I guess he did do enough to win that fight. I think he did win at least the first and last rounds of that fight. But it was very close. Little Nog, he looks like a Neanderthal. It's almost crazy. He looks like he eats bats, and but he came out. He didn't show to be the little Nog that we used to see in Pride. But anyway, Bader moves on. There were talks of him versus John Bones Jones. We'll see. John Bones Jones is my guy. That may happen. Then, of course, the main event: Mir versus Crow Cop. Dana White has to be like infuriated at this main event. It was like a glorified sparring match. Neither of them looked like they wanted to hurt each other. They went out there and they sparred. And it was almost like one of those situations where you're sparring for 15 minutes and at the last second, one of the guys accidentally knocks the other out. It was a beautiful knee. He definitely laid Crow Cop out, but he did not get knockout of the night. There was no knockout of the night awarded, and you know what? I think it was just deserved that he didn't get knockout of the night, because even though he ended it in good fashion, that entire fight was horrific, and it was painful to have to watch all of that, even to see that kind of knockout. So I'm glad Frank Mir did not get that knockout of the night. And that was pretty much the card. Like I said, it was not really that great of a card, but they all can't be great. We still end up tuning in because we love mixed martial arts. This is MMA Inside the Cage. I'm Joe D, and we'll catch you later.